Your move!
What is going on, you guys? Bashtian here, and today I want to go ahead and take a look at the Mysterune archetype. This is a brand new archetype that was just released, not released in TCG, but it just go ahead and I guess revealed to us. Would be a good way to say it. So essentially, what this deck does is, as you can see, you don't need to run any monsters in the main deck. The main priority of this deck is essentially what it looks like to make your opponent just deck out, which to me seems very interesting, as I love unhealthy, toxic playstyles. It's my favorite. So essentially, when it comes to this deck, I really like it a lot. So we can go ahead and take a look at each and every single one of the cards. Also down here I have some really interesting potential tech cards for this deck. Personally, I just went for the straight hardcore I will deck you out variant. As far as I'm concerned, at least, this is going to be the way that it is going to be at least meant to played. But of course, there are a few more, I guess, tech cards that I want to go ahead and point out to you guys as the video goes along, that I think might be very interesting for this deck moving forward. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look at each and every single one of the new Mysterune cards, and we'll go ahead and see how they go ahead and interact. So the first one is Point of Mysterune. So essentially, they're all going to share the same effect, the same second effect, I should say, where you can special summon a Mysterune monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. You can only activate one of that card name effect once per turn. So essentially, with that, you're going to be able to go ahead and special summon these guys right over here. But let's go ahead and look at the first effect of Point of Mysterune. So essentially, you can add a Mysterune card from your deck to your hand, except Point of Mysterune, then banish the top card of your opponent's deck. So now your opponent is at 34 cards in their deck. Fantastic. Go ahead and search whatever you want. I would recommend go ahead and searching out the spell, the field spell, because the field spell is pretty nuts. Let's go ahead and actually, I'm going to skip all the other ones. Let's take a look at the field spell real quick. So you can activate Mysterune's quick play spell cards from your hand during your opponent's turn. So this gives me a lot of magical musketeer vibes. I don't know if you guys remember that deck from way back in the day. So that deck was really cool and lets you go ahead and activate spells and traps from your hand during your opponent's turn. So it's pretty much going to be the same thing. All of them are quick play spells, except for the Deceit of Mysterune and the Spring of Mysterune. So the Spring of Mysterune is going to be the field spell, so it lets you go ahead and activate the quick play spells from your hand during your opponent's turn, as I stated before. But also, once per turn, when you activate a Mysterune quick play spell, you get to target up to 3 Mysterune quick play spells in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, and then draw that many cards. What? It replenishes your hand. It's absolutely ridiculous. That is an incredible effect. I mean, that's just I don't even know what to say. That's crazy. Like, that field spell is insane. That's definitely gonna be a secret coming, whatever it comes out. I didn't even check what it came out in, but definitely you might put maximize the Spring of Mysterune. Then you're gonna play Deceit of Mysterune. So Deceit of Mysterune is the only continuous spell in the archetype by the way it looks. So you're gonna control one Deceit of Mysterune. Each time a quick play spell is activated, banish the top card of your opponent's deck. So each time you're activating a quick play spell, you go ahead and banish the top card of your opponent's deck. Now, keep in mind, it does not say every time you activate a Mysterune quick play spell. It just says a quick play spell. So if you activate Forbidden Chalice, Forbidden Droplet, Forbidden Lance, all those are quick play spells. Book of Moon. Wow. All of the book ofs. That's really cool. So it has a lot of different types of synergies. It can also, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's go ahead and stick to the main decks. So that's absolutely outrageous as well. So actually you can only control one, but again, I understand. Next is going to be the Mysterune of the Raging Storm. So with this guy, you can banish cards from your opponent's deck equal to the number of cards they control. So if you go second against PKBA, you're telling me I'm banishing a lot. I'm banishing at least 5 to 6 cards minimum. That's just right off the bat. Just banish them. That's crazy talk. Okay, so you banish all cards from your opponent's deck equal to the number of cards they control. I'm at a loss of words. That's a fantastic effect. Next, let's look at Mysterune of the Golden Droplets. So with this one, your opponent draws 1 card, and then you banish the top 4 cards of their deck. So you are letting them draw, which again leads to further synergies, but I'll get to those in just a second. Mysterune of Slumber. So target one face-up monster on the field, apply this effect to it, then banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Once applied this turn, that monster cannot attack. Also, the next time it is destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed. So you can actually use this to protect your fusion guys. So you don't have to target an opponent's monster, so you can protect your monster from being destroyed. Also, you're still banishing top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Absolutely wild. Next, going to be Mysterune of the Freezing Curse. So with this one, what it's going to allow you to do is target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects, then banish top 3 cards of their deck. So Forbidden Chalice, essentially. That's fantastic. You would never play this at anything less than 3. Let's see, Mysterune of Dispel. You can only activate one of these effects. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. So if your opponent adds cards from the deck to their hand, except during the draw phase, discard 1 random card from their hand, then banish 2 from their deck. That's amazing. That's amazing. The only deck that this might not work well against is, well, you're banishing your top 2 cards. It's not like you're milling the top 2 cards. That's the other crazy thing. So it's not like if you're playing Light Sworn, you're gonna get any benefit from it. Let's see, Mysterune of the Brilliant Flame. Target one opponent's special summon monster, destroy it, then banish the top 2 cards of their deck. Again, just outrageous. That's pretty much all the main deck cards. And again, I want to go for a hardcore deck out variant. There's actually been a few times I've actually taken Trickstar Local and won via deck out because of a card like Trickstar Reincarnation. It's so free. Such an incredible card. Actually, that's another card that I want to go ahead and see if it works well with this. There's a lot of synergies. You know what? Let me just go ahead and get into it. I'm waiting too long. So decks that I think, or cards that I think work really well with this deck are actually Trickstar. Will gain a huge benefit from this because it gives it not only does it make your opponent draw cards, which isn't then making them burn themselves, but then there's also the Jorlin Lockbird Reincarnation combo. So I can force them to draw a card, make them take damage, chain Reincarnation, chain Jorlin Lockbird. So you banish their entire hand. They can't add any more cards to their hand, and all you're doing is just banishing all their cards from the top of their deck. That's outrageous. Another deck that I think would work really well with this is going to be Sky Striker, of course. So with the amount of spells you're going to play in this deck, I mean, this deck could literally be just all spell cards. Just take these Reincarnations out and put either 3 Chalice or 3 Forbidden Droplets, and you're going to be good to go as far as that goes. Just throw 3 Ray in there, and this can be a crazy deck. Crazy deck. So I'm just theorizing at this point on what could work with this. Needleworm is a fantastic card for this deck. Also, if you want to play that card Soul and Luna, to go ahead and just flip your Needleworm face up, they have to send the top 5 cards of their deck to the graveyard. It's ridiculous. Also playing cards like D-Fissure, any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Is not from the field as any monster sent to the graveyard. So that's outrageous. Pot of Prosperity, you're not really going to be using your extra deck too much, only for super poly targets. And Scapegoat. So Scapegoat again works incredibly well in this deck. So Scapegoat's going to allow you to do, first of all, it's a quick play spell, so it does have a lot of synergy with Deceit of Mysterune. Also, Scapegoat will allow you to go into Mrs. Radiant, double Link Spider, or double Mrs. Radiant. What does that mean? It means that you can go to Topologic Zero Boris. For those of you guys who don't know Topologic Zero Boris, feel free to go ahead and read the effect on the screen. However, I will go ahead and do it for you as well. So, Topologic Zero Boris, you cannot summon or set monsters to any extra monster zone this points to. That's fine. Gains 200 attack for each banished card. If a monster is special summoned to a zone a Link monster points to while this monster is on the field, banish all cards on the field. So what does this mean? It means that Tri Brigade is dead, essentially. Phantom Knight's going to be hit by this as well. So Zero Boros is just a fantastic card as well that you can go ahead and use. You can also put Topologic Bomber Dragon, so you can go ahead and activate it yourself, which I think will be fantastic because all these cards also special summon from the extra deck for free. So that's a free summon you're going to be getting. So I think Double Scapegoat is fantastic in this. Super Polymerization, again, to go ahead and just go ahead and get rid of your monsters because you're fine. You are doing just fine to summon any one of these as sort of super poly targets as well. So your extra deck is very much irrelevant. Again, Drone Lockbird will work fantastic with this deck with the Reincarnation combo. Upstart Goblin, it's a spell. Card Destruction would be funny. I think Card Destruction would be great. To be honest, go ahead and play it in this deck. I mean, just go ahead and start it off. Just get rid of your hand. Just play with a new hand. You're fine. You'll be all right. Dark World Dealings, you know, just thin out the deck even more. Hand Destruction, send 2 cards from the hand to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. Actually, super crazy. Let's see, the Mysterune Dispel. Yeah, so I don't want to play 2. I didn't want to play 3. It just seemed like out of all of them, this was the least impactful. Just because it's if your opponent adds a card from the deck to the hand. So essentially, you're only going to be able to play this card turn 2 if you go first. It's not really a card that you're going to be using turn 2 when they went first. So as I just saw, it's a slightly less impactful card. And then there's also a Gift of Greed, which is a funny card to play as well. Just your opponent draws 2 cards. Yeah, go ahead and just draw yourself to sleep. And that's really it. I mean, as far as the Mysterune extra deck monsters goes, you play 1 Gary and 1 Moonin. So Gary, when you think of a SpongeBob. So Gary, Fangs of Mysterune allows you to do if this is special summon from the extra deck, you can target 1 Mysterune spell in your graveyard, except a quick play spell added to your hand. It's not nearly as good, but it does help you go ahead and do a lot of your super poly plays because it is a dark monster. Then Moonin. So if this card is special summon from the extra deck, you can discard 1 card, add 1 Mysterune continuous spell from your deck to your hand. When your opponent activates a card effect that targets a Mysterune card and or set cards you control, quick effect, you can banish this card you control and negate the activation if you do destroy that card. And then during the end phase, you gain 1,000 life points just cuz. That's the most irrelevant text I have ever seen on a card, but hey, we'll take it. You know, it's just fine. It does nothing for you. There's no reason why you should lose a lot of life points playing this deck. I just think it's going to be a really fun deck. I'm really excited for Mysterune. I guess this would be considered a before you buy, but not necessarily because then you're looking at pros and cons. Anyway, I'm just excited for this deck overall. I can't wait for it to come out here in the TCG. So that's going to be it for the analysis, guys. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys a brief, again, deck profile of what it would be, some tech choices you may want to go ahead and include into the Mysterune deck. Essentially just the most degenerate strategy I think I've seen Konami pump out since Mystic Mind Burn and Trickstar. So let me know what you guys think of Mysterune in the comment section down below, guys. Leave a like for more videos just like this and subscribe for more. I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one.